Welcome, my name is Matt, aka Road Jedi 88. We're getting into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, mods, Ninth Sister, who is a Inquisitor. And as I recall, the only source I recall ever seeing this Ninth Sister was actually, I believe, in one of the video games. I cannot think of the title at the moment. Like Old Jedi Order or Old Jedi Republic, something, I don't know. It came out a few years ago, and it was like part of a 2 or 3 game series, I think. But it does take place between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, as do many of these, a number of these video games do. So if you go to my first video playlist, in my mods playlist, my first video in that playlist is a video where by definition, I break down the various different types of character, their roles, their function in the squad, as well as various different types of mods, and the purpose of those mods when we are applying them to these characters. You can go to swgoh.gg, online website, where it points out the various different types, like the fan statistical preferences, which mods they prefer to go with. If you just kind of look at their abilities, it can give you an indication as to what routes to go. I'm actually seeing suggestions for defense. She is a tank character, so you don't have to go triple health as what it was recommended on swgoh.gg. They recommended triple health, but she does have some abilities. Yeah, they do deal with health, but whoop, knock that off. Like turn meter, and it's talking about potencies and turn tenacity here. You could do kind of a rare approach and do a pair of health, do a pair of potency, and a pair of tenacity. Kind of beef up each of her ability attributes that she has laced into her DNA naturally. So, or you can go pair of defense, pair of tenacity, pair of potencies. Here, they're actually recommending just tenacity. swgoh.gg was recommending triple health. And for a tank character, honestly, I kind of like the idea of going tenacity. Maybe even a pair of potencies with that tenacity. This is probably going to be one of those where you want to kind of play around with and see how it feels in a battle. If you have an Inquisitor who deals with health, which we do, what is that, Seven Sister that does that? Yeah, Seven Sister is the healer to the squad, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she's a healer. So if you have Ninth Sister in a squad where Seventh Sister, who I generally utilize as a squad leader if I'm not using Darth Vader. If I'm not using Darth Vader, I'm probably using Seventh Sister as the squad leader, which is rare to do with a healer, but it does work. Ninth Sister would have her looking after her in terms of health, so going triple health is a little unnecessary and a little undermining of her potential, to be honest. So, not to rub any bad chords with the fans pitching in on swgoh.gg, because they're I see their point. I see where they're going at with that. But see where I'm going at with this, and that is her tenacity and potency abilities that you could be improving upon and enhancing and just adding to her abilities. You'd be basically cross-training her. You can enhance what she does as a, yeah, I think I'm going to do double on the potency. Because she's already a tank character. So, tenacity, by definition, means not easily torn apart. If you have a healer in the squad, she's going to look after her as long as your tank is protecting the members within the squad, which is what a tank is supposed to be. A tank is protecting whatever is within. So, and we gotta do a little farming here once in a while. But to protect whatever is within, throwing in tenacity makes her hard, not easily torn apart. Which is still looking after her health, as well as the health of the squad mates. Throw in potency, and because she does battle, you're basically cross-training her to be able to have attacker abilities. Now, here's the problem about tanks, and this is one thing I'm taking into consideration, and I might need to consider the need to play around with a little bit more. Tanks usually are slow because of all the weight they carry. It's not anything against them because they're built exactly what they're meant to be doing, to protect. And you kind of need that heavy and durable, right? So they're not going to move as quick. So, if you wanted to do a pair of health, a pair of tenacity, and a pair of potency, it's a rare thing to have 3 different pairs of something modded in. Don't rule it out. You can test that out, give it a shot, see how it plays out. But if you have Seventh Sister squatted alongside with Ninth Sister, they'll look after each other. They're gonna look after each other. They can look after each other, and they will. So, I like the tenacity approach, but I also like the idea of throwing in some potency, putting a little dominancy in her attacks. Because she's already a tank. She's already built with tenacity. She's already built in her DNA. She's got that potency. You need all the people who can tear into your opponents to have their chance of tearing in. Potency dominates. So, in her natural tank DNA, tenacity is already kind of there, but you can improve upon it. She is going to be a little bit on the slow side without the speed. So double up that potency and her attacks will dominate what she does. So it's kind of a suggestion, a line of thought to consider. And I guess at best is what I got for now. Like I said, you might play around with the mods, see how it feels for you. It's like getting a new car, you got to test the wheel, see how that feels for you, right? Same thing here. But that's Ninth Sisters mods for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comments, questions, suggestions down below, and thank you for following me. The Force be with you.